Alright, we're going to kick off this video with a little inside look on how well I did during the Black Ops 3 beta. You can see my TDM win-loss there on the left, my KD on the right. The next one will be my domination win-loss and my KD on the right. Now overall, I ended this game with around a 2.6 KD, and that's my highest initial KD for the first few days of me playing a Call of Duty in any title. Usually I start off around a 1.5, 1.6 and slowly make my way to that 2.0 KD during the game's lifespan as I get to learn the maps and learn my class loadouts and which guns I like to use. So I'm really looking forward to this new year. I got to tell you guys that. And I will say this is going to be interesting. Some of you guys will agree with me, some of you guys will disagree with me, but that's just the way it is. A lot of people did not like Ghost. They thought it was camp heavy, which it was. The maps were huge, the ghillie suits, people hiding in bushes, holding long lines of sight. The game could be an absolute nightmare to play, but I played it, I did well in it. And then Advanced Warfare came out, and you got the exo movements, the tryhards, the whole new mechanics, fast-paced, all these weird weapons, and playing that game took me a while to master, but I mastered it. And now coming to Black Ops 3, I gotta say, when I played this game, it felt so simple. It felt like Black Ops 2. It felt like Call of Duty simplicity was back. It was an easy game to play. And I think that's what a lot of people were missing in the previous COD titles, because Ghost and Advanced Warfare, I think a lot of people didn't like them because they were hard to adapt to. They were hard to get, they were hard to grasp, and people didn't have a good time playing them. And also, too, I think the spawn system in those two games were a lot different from previous Call of Duty titles. They were allowing people to spawn all over the map. And in this Black Ops 3 game, we got the old traditional spawn system where they spawn on one side of the map and you spawn on the other side of the map. The people that complain about the spawns for the Black Ops 3 beta, I have no idea what you're talking about. It was so easy to spawn trap people. You didn't always have to check your back. And it's just a completely different game. So I'm really looking forward to this new year, guys. I think it's going to be a good one. You're going to get a lot of good gameplays out of me. And just can't wait for November. It can't come fast enough. The gameplay that you guys are watching is me using the Shiva here in a game of KC on the map Stronghold. Now, this was one of my favorite assault rifles in the beta. It's a great assault rifle. It reminds me of the FAL or the SMR of Black Ops 2, and those are going to be really good rifles to use for people that head glitch a lot. And of course, for most of you that experience the beta, you realize that these maps are very head glitch heavy, and I'm sure that the new maps that we're going to get when the game comes out are going to be just as heavy with head glitch spots. So you want to use weapons like this for people that head glitch a lot. You really got to learn to master these semi-auto single-shot weapons. They're going to be really beneficial, I think, in this new title. So that's what you guys are watching in the background. We'll get into the whole weapons thing, in which weapons I liked in Black Ops 3, the beta, and which ones I didn't like. But for right now, what we're going to go over in this commentary is perks. Okay, I want to go over all the perks that I went and used in the different categories, which ones I think were good, which ones I think need to catch a little bit of a buff or nerf, and all that good stuff. Okay, so that's what we're going to get to in this commentary, and we're going to start, of course, with the first perk slot, which gave us Flak Jacket, Ghost, Blast Suppressor, Afterburner, Overclock, and Blind Eye. Now, I didn't use Blind Eye. Of course, Blind Eye will be necessary for those people that like to spam aerial score streaks, and hopefully they buff the score streaks where people can't just hack your rates. So that is going to be a relevant perk. But again, I think it's one of those perks you really don't need to run on any primary classes. It's just one of those perks you need to pull out if the players are using those type of score streaks. You got to adapt to their playstyle and use them if they need to be used. Flak Jacket I found to be very important, of course. A lot of people were spamming nades and stuns, and there's a lot of people out there complaining about these nades and stuns and everything like that, and that, they need to be nerfed. Well, to be honest, I don't think any of those need to be nerfed because they have perks that counter them. People that spammed nades or stuns, I used Flak Jacket and Tac Mask, and the problem goes away. So you have to, again, have those class loadouts to counter those different types of play styles. Of course, in the beginning, it's a little rough because you have nothing unlocked, but that's to be expected. You have nothing unlocked. But as you go along and you start unlocking everything that you can, then you could start loading up these classes with these types of perks. So, again, I think that Flak Jacket will be one of those ones you need to use a lot, but it's not something that you need to use all the time. Ghost was alright. It was a little underwhelming. It was a little underpowered in the sense that if you stop running, then you pop up on the UAV system. But as you guys saw in this gameplay, I like to shoot the UAVs out of the air I think the launchers in here are great, and I'll be doing a lot more of that and not using Ghost so much because I'll just take the points of shooting the UAV system down. I think that's much more effective than even worrying about using Ghost. However, I think that Ghost should be like Black Ops 2, where if you have it, you're not on the UAV system. Even if you're standing still for a little bit or using your score streak or anything like that, you're not on the UAV system. It shouldn't be right when you stop, you're automatically on the UAV system. That's kind of weak. But again, not a big deal to me. Whatever they do with it, I'll still shoot UAVs out of the sky. I think I'm always going to have one of my class points for a launcher. So that's my personal opinion. Afterburner, didn't use it, didn't think it was needed. Overclock, I use quite a bit as well. Overclock allows you to get your specialist abilities faster, and I found that to be very, very important, especially when you're using certain specialist abilities, whether it be, you know, the Sparrow or the Annihilator or the, what's the other one? The Sith, or yeah, from the robot, the Scythe or something like that, his little Gatling gun. You know, getting those things quicker during the match helps. So I thought that was a very, very good perk to use. Perk ones overall, not bad, but I would say my favorite in there were Overclock and Flak Jacket. Now in the perk 2 category, you really don't have too much here that I used. Hardwired, didn't use that much. Scavenger, I tried it out a little bit. I think it will be necessary because I noticed that a lot of the times with my SMGs I'd run out of ammo and have to pick up a weapon. So I may be using that one, but the one that I used the most was Fast Hands. Fast Hands was a really good perk, and that's pretty much what I kept on my second perk the whole time. Tracker, I didn't really see anything there as far as footprints or anything like that. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Maybe I didn't use it long enough, but I didn't really see that was too important of a perk. Ante Up I thought was a waste of time. I know a lot of people have voiced that already. It's supposed to be like a hardline, you know, you get your score streaks faster, but they only give you so many points, and it just really didn't feel like it gave you enough, and it didn't feel like it was worth taking a perk slot. So I wouldn't use it too much. Cold-Blooded, again, if people are using infrared scopes and all that stuff, may be necessary. I didn't use it, didn't find it necessary. The only perk 2 that I think will be used quite a bit will be Scavenger and Fast Hands. Those are the only 2 I think that you really need to use. Now we go into the perk 3 category, okay? Now this one has a lot of important perks. For the perk 3 category, you have Engineer, Dead Silence, Awareness, Tac Mask, Gung Ho, Sixth Sense. Engineer, didn't use it, didn't really feel like I needed to. I'm sure when people start using shock charges and all that, you may want to use it. The more equipment that we start to see where people could set it around, I'm sure it's going to be important. But for right now, it just wasn't really that useful in the beta. Dead Silence, I used quite a bit. As you guys know, if you played the beta, footsteps are back. You can hear where people are at, especially if you put on the other perk in perk 3 category, Awareness. You can really hear people's footsteps really well, and there's going to be a lot of sound whoring going on. A lot of people sitting in corners just looking and hearing people walk around the map looking for that. So again, I'm probably going to use Dead Silence quite a bit, but Awareness is also something good to use if you want to go ahead and sound whore yourself. And of course, one of the most important in the perk 3 category is Tac Mask. Tac Mask, getting spammed by stuns sucks. And again, everybody thought the stuns were too OP. Dude, just put on Tac Mask. The problem is solved. So I don't understand how something could be too OP when you could put something on to completely neutralize it. So again, I think Tac Mask is going to be something that a lot of people run. It didn't really see the benefit of Gung Ho. I know that it can be useful, but I didn't use it. And Sixth Sense was another one that I thought was interesting. But again, it's kind of needs some tweaking. It definitely needs some kind of buff. Not too much, because I can see where it can be used effectively, but at the same time, I didn't really need to use it that much, because if you already know how to read your minimap and read spawns, it's just really not that needed. For me personally, I know how to read the minimap pretty well, and I just didn't find that I needed the Sixth Sense perk to be used. I'd rather use Dead Silence or Tac Mask in its spot. So those are my, you know, kind of thoughts on the perks there. Again, I'll give you guys a weapons review in the next Black Ops 3 video. I will be dropping some more Advanced Warfare for you guys too this week, so stay tuned. You guys, thanks for all your views, subscribes, and likes. I appreciate it all. This is NESSINATOR 1, and I'm out.